Hello world, I'm making this video for my friend James, who is considering buying an Apple laptop for the first time, and for anybody else that's also considering buying an Apple laptop for the first time, maybe to complement an iPhone or an iPad or something like that. Okay, so let's hop onto Safari and we'll go to the Apple Store. Right, I do apologise, QuickTime is making my things very slow, and I've made this video about 5 times already because I've made mistakes and what have you. Okay, so Safari. Oh, we've got Trusteer open. I'm not sure why we've got Trusteer open, but there we go. All right, so we're on the App Store now. He's considering buying a MacBook Air. Okay, first thing I would do, if you're buying a laptop, you're not buying a tablet, okay, and you want something that is going to give you the benefit of a laptop, okay. So the first thing I would do then is ditch the 11-inch MacBook Air. Beautiful and dinky though they are, I have seen them before, they do look gorgeous, but unfortunately for me the screen would be far too small to really enjoy watching movies and that sort of thing, okay. You know, the idea is that it's going to be you know, a much better experience than watching it on an iPad. Okay, so that leaves us with the 13-inch MacBook Air. If we look at the specs of them, okay, we'll go down the list here. We've got a 1.4 dual-core Intel Core i5 processor. Now, 1.4 gigahertz was a lovely speed for a computer in the early noughties. Dual-core processors were even better in the late noughties. Okay, but let's just say that my MacBook from 2007 had a 2.1 gigahertz Core 2 Duo processor in 2007. So 1.4 gig is a bit on the tight front at the moment, yeah. And you know, you're paying nearly £1,000. All of them, the MacBook Airs, have the same processor in them. They can be upgraded. I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, it just pushes the price up. Okay. It does have a turbo boost up to 2.7 gigahertz, but that's just like an emulator for when you might want the processor to run a bit faster. If you've got a game or something that requires higher than 1.4 gigahertz, then I would seriously doubt whether it would run particularly well on a 1.4 gig processor. Okay, so no. Intel HD graphics soldered onto the motherboard, as is everything in the MacBook Air. Okay, so nothing is upgradable by you, including the processor, the RAM, hard drive, anything like that. Okay, so you have to, at the point of sale, make sure that what you get is future-proofed. Okay, I'm not convinced really that in its base spec the MacBook Air is. In particular, this flash-based storage thing. Flash-based storage is like the modern equivalent of a hard disk, and it's incredibly expensive at the moment. You can see that adding, because there's nothing different apart from the flash-based storage here, but you can see it's an extra 150 quid just for 128 gigabytes, okay, of extra space here. You will love working on your Mac so much that you will fill it very, very quickly with movies from the iTunes store and TV programs and music and whatever else, and then you'll suddenly find yourself needing an external drive, and needing an external drive for a dinky little computer like this kind of like defeats the object of it. Okay, so my instinct would be to say no really to either of these. Okay, at a push, possibly the one with 256 gigabytes on it. Okay, but if we look at it, okay, pretend to buy it, okay, 8 gigabytes of RAM is really the minimum necessary these days to run a computer at anything other than frustration level. So that is a must regardless of laptop that you buy. Okay, as I say, it can't be upgraded afterwards. You have to upgrade it at the point of sale. Apple RAM is quite expensive. It's 80 quid there, and it's pushed you to over £1,000. Okay, if you upgrade the storage space to something much more usable, that's £1,300, and then you might want to think about getting a faster processor as well, and it's pushed you up to £1,500. Which I think is possibly too expensive. Okay, so have a look at the MacBook Pros. Okay, all of the ones with the Retina display. Now the Retina display is this fantastic new display by Apple, which gives you, huge screen resolution and is beautiful. Okay, but the basic MacBook Pro here also has a beautiful screen on it, which is at least HD quality, and looks gorgeous. Okay, you've still got on all of these ones here these flash drives, and look, the one with 512 gigabytes, it has got 8 gigabytes of RAM here, but the one with 512 gigabytes on it is shall we say 1,500 quid and expensive. Okay, they've all got dual core processors on them. Okay, apart from the 15-inch ones, but look at the prices of the 15-inch ones. Okay, quad core, which would be desirable, but yeah, very, very expensive. Okay, and look, the top price one is still only got 512 gigabytes of flash storage on it. Okay, now the 13-inch MacBook Pro, on the other hand, yes, this is old stock, because Apple usually offer an old stock thing just to get you into buying a Mac. But look, you've got a 2.5 gigahertz dual core processor here. Okay, with turbo boost up to 3.1 gigahertz, so it's a much more usable processor to start with, so you're not going to be slowed down by that. Okay, yes, you've only got 4 gigabytes of RAM, but you can upgrade that. You've got a 500 gigabyte basic ordinary hard drive here. Yes, it's slower than the flash storage, which is the main advantage of flash storage, really, but you're not going to win any points in this life for being 30 seconds faster than somebody else. Okay, so what? It's not that slow. Okay, graphics soldered onto the motherboard, but if you don't play wonderful games, then that shouldn't really bother you. Even on the MacBook Air, web browsing and watching movies and that sort of thing will still look gorgeous. Okay, and yeah, it's 999 quid, okay, which is the same price as the top spec MacBook Air, but you're getting a much better computer for it. Slightly heavier, slightly bigger, but who cares? Okay, so we select that, add some extra memory to it. You can upgrade the hard drive for only 40 quid, and there you go. Okay, but even in its 500 gigabyte configuration, it's still more reasonable than the MacBook Air, and that would be my choice for a laptop. Okay, just to sort of further muddy the waters though, there is now a new base spec iMac. Now the base spec iMac, its only handicap really is this processor, which you can't upgrade on this one. Okay, even if you try and configure it. Okay, you can't upgrade the processor. Okay, but what you are getting again is 500 gigabytes of storage, 8 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, and the price is $899, which is a much more reasonable price. Okay, and at that price you could upgrade the memory to 16 gigabytes, which would be far more desirable than you know, because the more RAM, obviously, the better. Okay, so if you weren't bothered about having a laptop but just wanted a Mac, then that would be my choice. Okay, and you know, just to sort of clear up any confusion or anything like that, you don't get a desktop style kind of tower unit with these things. Okay, it's essentially a laptop built into a monitor. Okay, so this thing here is what you get. Okay, and they are beautiful, sitting on anyone's desk or anything like that. I don't have a telly, and I use my Mac for all my telly. Okay, with a 21.5 inch iMac. It's slightly older than these ones here, but it would be roughly the equivalent of this one here, and it's wonderful. Okay, so yeah, there is my my kind of like Mac recommendation here. For a laptop, get that one. Okay, and for if you just want a Mac, get that one with 16 gigabytes of RAM and possibly more hard drive space as well. I think you can upgrade the hard drive. Should be able to. Yeah, you can upgrade that for 40 quid. Okay, so yeah, there you go. All right, so I hope that's helpful. Okay, James did want me to show some quick tips, and I have done a video of quick tips on the Mac. I'm hoping that this will go down. Yeah, the QuickTime screen recording software has been causing a complete headache this morning, causing things to crash that wouldn't normally crash and everything else. So that's why I've had to remake this video a few times. But I'll quickly show you one or two things that you just need to do when you turn the Mac on. Okay, when you turn the Mac on, you'll get the screensaver, the Maverick screensaver. Okay, you'll get nothing here. Okay, these are my external drives here, and that's a flash card for a camera. Okay, the first thing to do before you even connect the Wi-Fi, okay, is to quickly go into System Preferences. Now this has been cutting out and quitting and stuff like that. Let's see, it might stay open. Yeah, it's quit. The minute I've put my mouse on it. Okay, it's QuickTime doing that. Okay, nothing else. Okay, but yeah, you go into System Preferences, go into Security and Privacy, and turn on your firewall. Okay, to connect up to a wireless network, it's this icon here. Okay, it will tell you any networks that you've got available, and just click it and put the password in. Okay, and you're done. Okay, and you're online. Okay, there's no other kind of configuration at all there that is really required. Okay, anything else that's that's absolutely pertinent before I close this video? Not really. Not really. You'll find that it's very simple and very easy to use. Okay, the swipe gestures are intuitive, and again they can be configured in System Preferences, which is being a pain in the neck at the moment. Okay, yeah, it's wonderful and fabulous. Just check out my other video that I made for other quick tips. Okay, all right. Thank you for watching.